Solo Leveling by Chugong. Bonus Stories 8. My name is Antares. I am the first monarch to be born out of darkness. I am also the strongest of the monarchs, the king of dragons, and the symbol of fear and destruction. Indeed, those who know of me call me the Dragon King with respect and admiration. But one day, as I prepared to invade Earth with 10 million soldiers in the gap between dimensions, I opened my eyes and found that I had taken possession of a human vessel. What's more, I'm not sure how this happened, but I also possessed the human's memories as well. I rushed to the mirror hanging in one corner of a room, and I couldn't help but gasp in shock. What the? Who is this weakling looking back at me? Oh, how pathetic he was. This human's name was Jin Woo-sung. He was a young E-rank hunter living in a nation called the Republic of Korea. This human seemed to court death quite often because of his unimpressive abilities, yet he refused to quit his job as a hunter. Because of his mother's illness, I see. I could easily treat that kind of illness with my magic, is what I was thinking about when the human's phone rang. VRR. I picked up the small electronic device shaking on the desk to hear the urgent voice of a woman coming from the other side of the device. Hunter-sung, what's going on? It's almost time for the raid, but you aren't here yet. When I searched the human's memories for the voice, I landed on an employee of the association. As I made to hang up the phone that I'd picked up habitually, the woman said something that caught my attention. Don't tell me you're going to be late again? Late. The inability to arrive at a promised time. In other words, this woman was asking if I, the Dragon King and an avatar of mighty power, would display incompetence. I could not stand for that. My eyes were ablaze with indignation. Hey, where are you? What do you mean, where? In front of the gate, of course. And I have to say, your tone of voice sounded unprofessional just now, Hunter-sung. I concentrated on locating the ill-mannered woman. My perception covered the whole of the city, and I soon found her. There you are. Sorry? There who? Click. It was 11 kilometers away in human terms. Running at full speed, I was able to arrive there within seconds. The association employee was still lowering the phone from her ear when I appeared in front of her. Am I late? H. Hunter-sung? Frightened, she slowly backed up, perhaps from sensing my seemingly limitless power. I grabbed her by both shoulders to keep her from getting farther. Am I late? I asked again. And no. Good. Satisfied, I let go of her shoulders and looked around at the other hunters chattering away. Ignoring them out of disinterest, I focused on the aroma coming from the paper cups in their hands. Coffee! I want to drink coffee too. When I turned to the association employee, the female turned pale and bowed apologetically. I am sorry, Hunter-sung. We ran out of coffee. No problem. Pardon? I snatched the paper cup from the guy closest to me even before he could lift his head. WH, what are you doing? Glug, glug. When I chugged the sweet liquid at once and frowned at him, the flustered man shuddered and ran away. Ha ha! Survival of the fittest. That was common sense to us monarchs. I liked that this was the way with the humans, too. There's something odd about Sung No. His eyes today are somewhat. He's giving me the creeps. I ignored the whispers coming from the inferior humans behind me. Well then, since everyone is here, let's begin. As the hunters began to warm up their bodies for the raid, my gaze shifted to the gate they were supposed to enter. It looked quite suspicious. The gates appearing on Earth had to originate from the rulers. But why did I sense the energy of a monarch in there? I needed to investigate that. I gave a hawk-like glare at the gate and followed the hunters. I'm going too. Oh, of course, hunters sung? The hunters, disconcerted by an unnerving chill coming from the gate, and I entered the gate. Pow, 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 pow. The hunters looked upon me with admiration as I took out the decoy magic beasts put here in order to hide the real purpose of this dungeon. There's something really weird about Sung today, isn't there? No. Maybe the magic beasts in this dungeon are just extremely weak. But I can't even follow Sung's movements. After clearing the magic beasts in no time, I discovered the suspicious entrance. We'll go this way. Wait, we should vote on what to do in this kind of situa. He stopped talking after I knocked him out with a single punch. Thud. I looked down at the unconscious old man and then turned to the other hunters. Anybody else want to vote? It was a unanimous decision. We walked down a seemingly endless path and arrived at a huge door. What? A door at the end of a cave? Has any lair had a door before? I think this is a first. Is this going to be dangerous? The hunters seemed uneasy. I, too, assessed that the lair was dangerous after detecting a powerful energy coming from deep inside. So I flung open the doors, grabbed the hunter in the lead by their collar, and threw them into the room. Aya! They thrashed about on the floor, but nothing happened. I finally entered after confirming that it was safe. The inside resembled an old temple. What is this place? The hunters trickled in after me and inefficiently inspected the area. I closed my eyes briefly and concentrated, finding the mastermind behind this place. That one! The hunters gathered in front of a statue of an angel holding a stone slate that I gestured toward. It looks like something is written on its slate. Huh? There's some kind of runes. Since none of the hunters understood the runes, I raised my voice and read them out loud. The commandments of the Kartinan Temple. Someone then tugged at my arm. I turned around to see a woman whose blood had drained out of her face. The statue is, let go of me. I shook off her hand and kept reading the stone slate. First, thou shalt worship God. Second, thou shalt praise God. Third, thou shalt prove thy faith. Those who fail to obey these commandments shall not be spared. As if it had been waiting for me to finish, a red beam shot out of the eyes of the gigantic statue sitting in one corner of the temple. Zazap! I didn't even think to avoid or block the beam. Instead, I confidently puffed out my chest and faced the attack. Are you looking down on me to use such a weak attack? I sneered at the beam that was weaker than an ancient dragon's breath before showing the statue what true destruction was like. Well, what? Breath of destruction shot forth from my mouth and easily decapitated the statue. That is true power. That set off the statue standing decoratively against the wall, which ignored the other hunters and came after me at once. MW ha ha ha. Insolent puppets. One by one, I crushed their heads with my bare hands. Bam. Bam. Crack. Bam. Too slow. The hunters hit the ground screaming in order to avoid the debris flying everywhere. I don't think that's right. What's up with those commandments? Most of the statues were reduced to rubble even before the hunters finished their wails. Obviously, it wasn't even much of a warm-up for me. Is that it? Seeing its carefully laid plans crumbling down around him, the angel statue holding the stone slate rose and angrily shouted at me. You bastard! Who the hell are you? Silence! I snatched a spear from one of the statues and threw it at the damn angel. In a flash, it penetrated the angel statue's neck, causing it to fall to the ground. I didn't come here to talk to some decoy. I wanted to see it in the flesh. Reveal yourself, you coward! I roared once, I got rid of the obstacles in my way. The giant headless statue quietly rose to its feet. Right. This was how it was supposed to be. I grinned as I felt my blood boil. The giant statue stopped right in front of me and peered down. Monarch of Destruction, it was our destiny to meet. But our ill-fated relationship ends now. Oh, excellent idea. A black aura swirled around the statue, transforming it into a huge shadow as I released all my power to counter this great energy. It was thrilling. Bring it! For our war wouldn't end that easily. Gah! Jinwoo bolted up from his sleep. There was the familiar bed, wallpaper, ceiling, and computer. He surveyed his surroundings and realized he had woken up in his own room. Was it a dream? It was a crappy dream in which he had become the Dragon King, or perhaps the Dragon King had become Jinwoo. Wait a minute. Jinwoo hurriedly checked the time on his cell phone and sighed in relief. There was still plenty of time before the exam. Now that I think about it, it's already been 4 years since I defeated the Dragon King. Time had flown by quickly, and today was the day of the university entrance exams. His horrendous nightmare was a testament to how nervous he was. Jinwoo had to laugh as he got out of bed. Today, he'd finally see the results of all his hard work. Jinwoo had his heart set on a particular university because another person he really wanted to meet again would one day attend. I'm glad you aren't good at school, Jinho. Jinho, you. Jinwoo mulled over the name of the young man he missed dearly as he pulled open the window curtains. Dawn was approaching. I'll go ahead and wait for you. He looked forward to their reunion. As he felt the morning breeze come in through the open window, urgent footsteps approached, and his bedroom door opened. Honey, you know today's the day, right? Do you want me to drive you, son? Jinwoo smiled and nodded at the sight of his parents, who hadn't slept well last night as they fretted over the possibility their son might oversleep and miss the all-important exam. I'm coming. Let us go, my lord. Jinwoo walked out of his house as a strangely nervous Igris cheered him on. It was a brisk morning.